Hello, my name is Tiana Gandelman, and I am the creative director for The Masked Singer. And what that means is that I and my team get to come up with all the concepts that you see on the stage. So for every singer that goes out there and performs, we come up with the concept. We come up with the dancers and how many and what they're wearing. We come up with the screen content. What's the lighting? Are there intros? What is the story beat of each performance? And then if we're lucky, we get to have some special effects thrown in there as well, and definitely AR and augmented reality. So we really get to create and originate every concept, and then we manage it all the way through till it's on stage.
Being a recording artist in this industry, I've had the honor and pleasure of working with Tiana many, many years. Girl knows her stuff. You don't make them like that anymore, and she is killing it.
Give me stuff that's sweet, talk stuff.
I'll say skillin' it. That's killing it with her skills, okay?
I have been working in this lane for 10 years, and so being the creative director on not only just like this awesome show, the #1 show, has been a dream come true.
She's a mastermind. She puts together the combination of costumes and songs and the show and the production and the design.
And I don't give a damn about my reputation.
So right now we are in Chameleon's first rehearsal. I'm inspired by fashion first, and I also come from a dance background. So I think to myself, how would a dancer in their costume look next to the singer and build this world, this wacky world around them? And then from there, it kind of develops into what's the screen content? Where are we? What's the story that we're telling that supports the song and the singer and the costume? And then we fill in the kind of gaps of like the lighting that supports this and maybe camera suggestions. We're gonna pull the bike down about 3 feet, and then we're gonna bring the light until touching the boat.
Touching motorcycle.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. David, we need all the grips and electricians. The lights are gonna touch and the bike's gonna come down stage.
And then I deal with the supervising choreographer, and we talk to the choreographers and we say, here's everything. When you guys create all the steps, keep this in mind, keep this story in mind, and then we just go from there. But it starts with fashion, not gonna lie. I'm a fashion fanatic. This show has taught me so many things. And when you bring a celebrity into our show, it's a very different space because we basically hide their identity from the get-go. So we're really starting with someone on a blank canvas. I've learned that this is a transformative experience for each person that comes on the show, whether they're really good at singing or kind of okay at singing.
I wanna know for sure.
I think that's what's so awesome with putting them in the costume and putting them on these huge performances. They come in and then they find a new version of themselves.
I learned that I can do anything I want. I always say the sky's the limit. You know, I'd rather shoot for the moon and miss than aim for the gutter and make it.
The challenges are the schedule. We do have a lot to get done in a short amount of time, but the challenge is real, and somehow we just keep making every deadline, and the shows just keep getting better and better and better.
Not bad!
There's a few different types of days for us, but I'll try to bite-size everything for you. Our first part starts with the choreographers work with the dancers, and they teach them all the routines that they need to learn for those upcoming episodes, which is a lot of information. And then the choreographers go into rehearsals with the singers, so they can focus on the singers. The dancers already know their stuff. Then we put all the puzzle pieces together in the dance studio. Following day, we get to dry block, and that's where me, my team, the dancers, the singers, lights, screens, costumes, set pieces, we all start putting the puzzle pieces together of each performance, and that's usually a very long day of each person's maybe one performance or sometimes even 3 performances, and we get like 3 passes for each, get notes, we apply, and then the next day we get into a camera block day, and that camera block day is putting everything that we built together and we see it through the camera lens, and that changes a few things too. So we're always finessing and always tweaking, always trying to make it, what's the wacky, where's the funny bit, it? Why is this special? You know, we're always trying to find what those things are.
Amazing.
The format is different this year, and with that comes new technology. And so when someone is introduced, we have augmented reality. And so what they've done is taken everyone's name, and when they come out, they almost like lift it out from the stage as though, you know, it's rising from nothing. And really, it's just AR. And it feels like 3D in your face. We've never really seen anything like it before. So that's a really cool element that we have this season. And then we've also got projection on the mask mouths. So when it's always been kind of gray, or we just light it, or there's lights in the eyes. Now, if you see a concept that's in the LED screens, that experience then goes all the way up to the mask faces, and it just makes everything feel larger than life. When it comes to creating a performance for a singer, there are so many things to think about. The costume always is the starting point of the creative ideas. Where did this costume come from? Is this costume from now? Is it from before? Is this a mobile costume? So it all really starts with that, because what Marina does is that she doesn't just build a porcupine. A porcupine is like half robot, you know, so it always has this like deep detail that gets the starting point to go. Then we have to consider who's in the costume. Can that person move well? Should they focus on singing? Do we need to kind of give them more dancers to, you know, smoke and mirrors? But then it really comes down to the song.
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, 3 women in the fold with the goldies. Oh, why do I live this way?
And then from there, we really develop a world for not only just the performance, but just their journey on the show. I have to say, I think the most challenging costume at this point are the Russian dolls. So basically, you have hands, and then there's the mouth that's moving. Now, other times that we've had this, let's say the snow owls, they've been able to have their arms. So if someone's singing, you kind of can, you know, I call it a Mickey Mouse. You know, you can kind of really over-exaggerate things. And the singers are quite limited in this costume, so it makes it difficult. Then you have so many different people singing. You don't know who's singing where or when, but they're great at what they do, and they are like sponges. Anything that we throw at them, they're totally adaptable.
You feel it too. I wonder what it's like to be loved by you.
What I love about the choreography on this show is that the choreographers can do anything crazy and wacky, and it's allowed. You know, these costumes are over the top, so the moves have to be over the top. And I really just give them the direction, and whatever their moves are, we stick with it and we run with it. You know, if anything changes, it's just staging or just to make sure that we can capture it at the end of the day. But the singers in the costumes have a very hard time singing. And so keeping that in mind, we try to avoid steps. We make sure that the dancers give them space so that if they have tails or big extra things on their costumes, that they're not hitting anybody, so we know they don't fall off the stage. If there's a steady cam that comes up to them, they know where it is, they know how far it is. So we really try to give them as much freedom around them so that they are not hindrance to others or themselves. But the moves should feel good inside. And then just think about it. The dancers, their faces are covered too, so they have to be super exaggerated with their bodies. They have to be having fun. And that has to translate not just to our panel, but people at home.
That was so much fun. You had us laughing, and you kept us surprised the entire performance.
It is really awesome to see everyone just like put their best effort into it and then make some really cool magic